I should have brought a blanket out here because it's cold to me. People that live in
Shalom, guys.
America won't be thinking it's cold, but this is cold from my perspective.
I'm gonna let you guys see what we see right now. The changes, the change, wow, the change that happened. Look at that. That's the moon. But yeah, guys. Shalom, welcome, guys. Um, we're live, okay?
Yep. Shalom, shalom. Welcome. How's your day? Did you see the northern lights and wherever you
Let's
are?
try to get this. Yes.
We didn't see
Welcome,
any
guys.
northern
Thanks,
lights.
thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like the video when you come in the chat. Uh, it's been it's been different. We've been seeing a lot that's happened that really never happened. But for the past 2 days, you said the Northern Lights or whatever
It
that's happening
has a
right now.
technical name, but I can't pronounce it, so I'm not even going to butcher it like that. The northern lights. Now, they usually happen, or at least from my childhood and what I know. What movie? Dang, it was a movie. It wasn't Pocahontas. It was some kind of movie. Was it Pocahontas?
I thought it only happened in like Iceland or something like that.
Yeah, that's what's supposed to only happen. But the only thing I knew about it, and it takes me back to childhood seeing this movie, I thought it was Pocahontas, where they would show like the northern lights, or was it that movie Little Bear? That was a cute movie. You remember Little Bear?
No, I don't. So I don't know what you're talking about. Just let you go.
I'm just thinking, you don't know Little Bear.
I don't remember what you're talking about.
We watched
Hold
different
on.
movies as kids. I
Alright,
watched Little Bear.
go ahead.
He had like a little river he would go down. He was in Canada. Let me know if y'all remember Little Bear, because Little Bear was pretty cool. He was a cool, that was a cool movie, and I thought that was the movie that had the Northern Lights. Maybe it wasn't, but anyways, obviously the Northern Lights. Y'all probably saw it in America, but where we are in Southeast Africa, we couldn't see it. Um, yeah, we couldn't see it, but from what we could tell, it was like the pink and purple and green, just all these colors in the sky at night, and it looked spectacular. And even though it looked spectacular and was spectacular, I think more so, just from a biblical standpoint, it's a warning. The Most High saying the world is about to change, which is why the video is titled this. The world is about to go into a shift. And we just had an eclipse like a month ago, right? Wasn't that a month ago, y'all? And now they have the, and they said the solar flare was actually what was causing the northern lights phenomenon, which was all the lights in the sky that could be seen as far as South Africa from reports that I've been reading. So let me know where you are in the world, and wherever you are, let me know if you saw it. We did not see it from our part of the world, but it seemed like it was seen from like two or three different continents, maybe four different continents, but people usually see it in Iceland. Like that's usually like a thing. Like people go to Iceland to see the northern lights, and it's just this entire thing. You want to keep it up so camera don't look crazy.
Okay, I think we're good
That's better.
for a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, we're up on the first floor or the second floor, people would say, away from the Wi-Fi. So, yeah, but yeah, the lights. For me, I'm not sure what you were saying. But for me, it's beautiful. It's just like a reminder. It's like a rainbow. And most people think a rainbow as what? I'll not explain it. The LG whatever community stuff, but it's really the promise of the Most High. So he's trying to warn a lot of people, like all the signs that's happening right in front of our face. Like we really got to take the signs and know what time it is, because it's starting to speed up. Everything's starting to speed up like very fast. So um I hope you guys understand what's going on. Like that. I guess that's my point of view
Mm-hmm.
of um because this never happened. Like it's a lot of stuff that never happened.
And
Let
the
us know
solar
and
eclipse was last
yeah,
month.
let us know in the comment.
You want to turn
Like
it up, G?
When was the last time something like this happened? I wasn't alive. I know I wasn't alive. If anything, something like if anything happened like this, it was probably like hundreds of years ago, maybe.
If it ever even happened before
Yeah,
like this.
but we are in a new time, and it's speeding up very fast.
And you know what they say caused it? The solar flares. Remember last week with the solar flares?
Mm-mm.
That you don't know that? You didn't know that?
Something about the Earth is just hotter than it ever been because the sun is. Yeah, yeah,
The
something like that, I guess.
electromagnetic waves. There were certain outages in power and internet reception. There were all of these outages going on over the weekend, this past weekend with the solar flares. And apparently the solar flares caused the northern lights phenomena. And so that's crazy. They said that the earth usually the whatever ozone layer, it usually protects the earth against some of those solar flares, but these solar flares were allowed to penetrate, which caused a lot of telecommunications damage and all of these discrepancies. And humans are so prideful that they think the most high doesn't have these powers, these immaculate powers as a creator to stop what you're doing at any time. Like humans in their pride, especially certain European humans in their pride, believe they can build all of these vast things and go to Mars and go do this, and they think they've outsmarted the Most High. Just like the people thought with the Tower of Babel, they thought they were going to outsmart him, and he's like, actually, no, I have something for that too. Because this whole time I've been protecting you, but if I even move just one layer of protection, you're going to feel it.
And that's what it is. The kingdom is coming to earth. The kingdom is coming to earth. So we have to be prepared. They're trying to do a lot of stuff, change a lot of stuff, and we have to be in position. As we always say, we have to be in position to understand what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not time for people to play games. That's why we titled this The World is Changing. Get to where you're grounded and where you can prosper. That's been something we talk about on this channel for the past 4 years. Get into a place where your family can prosper, where you can prosper, because this late in the game, with the things that are going on in this world and the judgment that's impending, and the Most High sending these signs and these signals in the sky, sending signs and signals to people through vision, sending signs and signals to people through the scriptures, through prophecy, through prophets. But a lot of humans just aren't going to get it, and it is written that people won't understand. The 2/3 of the chosen people will perish. That there's only going to be 1/3, and so I think these signs in the sky, especially because so much has happened in the last 60 days regarding the eclipse, the solar flares, the northern lights. The Most High is saying judgment's coming to the earth. And today I saw one more interesting article. Shout out to Lisa Caballero's channel. She always finds like the interesting data. Now we've been talking about how Japan, Portugal, Italy, United Kingdom, all these countries have very low birth rates. They're not able to repopulate because apparently a population has to have an average of 2.5 children to replace the next generation. But if you only have 1.5 children on average, like America, like China, like Japan, like some of these places in Europe, you can't replace the population. And so you're going to face desolation. And so now they're saying they're saying, forget just those countries. They said the entire world is under a population decline. The entire world is the population's dying. That's what they just said.
That's what they wanted. Bill Gates. That's his whole mission. Is to is depopulation.
Exactly.
I forgot.
After all this time, he feel like he's winning. But I mean, you look at Africa, I don't believe the stats about Africa because knowing where we've traveled, what we've seen, what we've experienced, how populated Africa is, how large Africa is, I just don't believe it. I think they're going to try. They're obviously going to try to install Planned Parenthoods and abortion clinics and then destroy people through, all the methods they have in America. But it's not going to prosper because the Most High, He will always keep a remnant of His chosen people alive. He will always it just goes back to the Tower of Babel. Like He will always have His plan. The adversary thinks he can do something, even thinking about the time of Yahusha when he was born. and the Roman emperor wanted to go and kill all the firstborn of the land to try and slay him. And Most High is like, actually, I already had a plan, I already had protection installed.
Yeah. Talking about protection. Um, I'm sorry, I got the microphone. But yeah, this like protection is real because I know everybody, pretty much everybody that's watching. You know, we've been in Tanzania for what 4 years, or
Three and a half.
3.5 years, going on
Mhm.
4. But we recently left and came to a country because we felt um something that was coming. I don't know how to explain it.
We
Like,
felt a darkness.
yeah, we felt something was coming, and recently it's been crazy. Like everybody that we know there and people that we know that's in Tanzania, um, they've been saying like, "Wow, it's been flooding. It hasn't been electricity. Hasn't been the water been out. The internet. There's no internet." I'm like,
The corruption's
whoa,
on a new level.
like it's crazy how the Most High will move you somewhere where it's a place of safety. It's a place of protection. Um, because the people that I knew in Tanzania that knew, like I say the local people, and I'm like, man, judgment is coming because they messing with the wrong type of people. They're doing all this corruption and stuff.
You
Judgment
did,
is
yeah.
coming. Judgment is coming. So I hope you be safe. I hope everything will be good with you. But me and my family, we got to go. So it's crazy to think
Hmm.
about how just being obedient and listening to the Most High's voice saying like, get out. Um, and they will give you that protect, or the Most High will give you that protection. Man, you really got to be in tune these days. You really do.
Yeah,
Yes, Joe.
that's a good point. That's, yeah. You really
Stop
have
it
to know
down.
the Most High for yourself. And there's no amount of YouTube videos you can watch, whether it's us or anybody else. There's no amount of YouTube videos you can watch to replace a relationship with the Most High. And guess what? There may come a time where you're in a crowd and you think everybody's going one way and you're supposed to stay with the crowd, but the Most High says, no, I want you to go the other way, like in the book of Second Kings, where a false prophet came. You have two prophets. One, the good or seemingly good prophet, I should say. He's walking on the path. The Most High gave him a path, gave him a roadmap, gave him instructions. So he's doing it. Then a second prophet comes, and this is how the Most High works. This is also the function of the devil because the Most High gives the instruction first. And so you first have that plan, that guidance, that obedience, that map that he wants you to take, and then the devil comes secondhand. My grandma used to say, you always go with your first mind. And so the devil will come with the second hand, and he can't just come with horns. He got to come as a person. And he ain't going to just come as any person. He's going to transfer as an angel of light. What New Testament says, be not afraid, be not deceived. Even the devil masquerades as an angel of light. And so in Second Kings, the second prophet is going on the road and he says, oh, I'm a prophet of the Most High too.
He told me to
Why
come
don't you
eat with
come?
you.
Why don't we go this way and let's
Yeah.
go eat for a bit? Then we can go down the road. We can go a separate way, but I'm a prophet too. And so the first one, he's like, well, I guess he is a prophet. I know I got these instructions, but I'm going to go with the crowd. And it wasn't even the crowd, it was just another person. That's how much being in company with the wrong people can deter your focus and deter your mission in the Most High. Because I mean, if you don't stay strong as who the Most High has called you to be, then generations after you are going to be plundered because of it. It's crazy to think about. Even looking at Joseph's story, when he had all his brothers, all his older brothers who he loved dearly, they sold him, they trapped him, they put him in a well. After they put him in a well, they sold him to these people. Then he ends up in Egypt. And so he had the decision in his heart where he can say, man, I can carry this anger with me or I can forgive my brothers. But when he met them again in Egypt and the Most High, again with this protection and provision, he put Joseph there so that even though it would seem like a horrible thing, this jealousy, this envy, this rage, this murderous spirit, and yet it ended up blessing the entire children of Israel, the whole family line. It blessed all of them and saved them in times of a famine, so much so that Jacob, our forefather, he was able to see his dear son again, who he prayed for probably daily. Probably daily. He prayed to see his favorite son again. And not that, you shouldn't have favorites, in your family, but the fact is that he prayed to see his son again. And his son ended up being Joseph, ended up being the one that helped them in the famine. And then the brothers turned and they repented. All of this because of jealousy, all of this because of certain things that are on your journey that can twist you from where you're supposed to be, certain people. Because again, the devil can't manifest as whatever he looks like in the spirit. He doesn't have the authority. So he has to jump inside of people. And those people have to be your brothers, or they have to be people that seem like prophets. They have to seem as if they are like you, when in reality you're not. But you don't always know that until it's too late. For Joseph, it wasn't too late because the Most High had him in a place of protection and provision. But for the prophet in 2 Kings, y'all know what happened to that prophet? He got eaten by a lion for disobedience. He was eaten alive. The prophet that was lying, he just stayed alive and said, oh, wow, he was a real prophet. Well, let me just keep walking. When I first read that story, that was crazy. I was like, this walk ain't no joke. You better know the Most High for yourself. You better have a relationship with him for yourself, just like Joseph did in Egypt. And you can learn from the downfall of others that came before us, the forefathers, just like in 2 Kings. Because if that prophet, the right one, well, he was right at first when he was trying to go through his path and do what he was called to do. If he would have stayed the course and ignored the prophet coming, because he knows he already has a mission and assignment that the Most High already showed him. So he already has a relationship. So for him, there was no excuse. The Most High's like, I already spoke to you. I already know you. And then to turn just because somebody else comes in the way, you can't hold people as idols over the Most High. The Most High has to be the only idol, the only high power. And then if you meet people along the way, that's fine, but you better have enough quiet time and discernment to understand the seasons. What? The seasons of the Most High. In Genesis, there's a verse that talks about how there are seasons and you have different months, you have different seasons for feast days, but we also have cycles in our life. And my husband and I, we've been able to identify those cycles. We've been able to identify, okay, we know during this time of the year, spiritual warfare is going to come. Okay, we know during this time of the year, the business is going to increase. We know during this time of the year, X, Y, and Z is going to happen. That way, we're able to prepare for things because we can look back on our life now as a married couple and see, oh, I'm starting to see patterns. There's seasons to this. There's seasons to marriage. There's seasons to business. There's seasons to family. There's seasons to friends. And this is so important on your journey coming to Africa, living in Africa, because you'll meet so many people. You'll have to let go of a lot of people. We were just talking today about how we had our friends in the States, and we were so excited to come to Tanzania. And we were fellowshipping. We had so much. And this is people in Ohio. And we were like showing them, hey, look, we should all go to Africa. It'll be fun. This will be awesome. And we had the decision. Nobody agreed. They was like, okay, that's kind of cool, I guess. You sure? But we had the decision where we came to a point where it had to be, okay, is the Most High calling us to this, or should we stay here with people that we built fellowship with? And so we knew, because we have a relationship with the Most High, we knew, okay, we got to go. We love y'all, but we know we've been sent. We know we're on a mission, so we're going to keep going. And it's the same thing in every phase of life. You always have to have the discernment to know the seasons and the calling of the Most High on your life. Because at this rate, in this world, the way things are changing, one wrong move, and it's literally a wrong move of disobedience, because you just don't have the time to play with disobedience. You don't have the time to play with false prophets. I remember you were talking to somebody back in Ohio, and you were telling when we were going to leave, and they were like, you think you're Abraham? And it's like, yeah, absolutely, we are his descendants, so yes, we're going to step into that blessing.
Yeah, you got, and the Most High will put you through stuff, to kind of like tell you, like, you are worthy. You know, he will put you through trials, tribulations, but and then just say she was just saying the people that we wanted to come, we a whole look. We started a whole game plan, right?
We-
We wrote
That's how we are.
we had like websites. We had like we printed out paper to show them. Yeah, this is amount of money. Like a house like this will cost this.
We were
Uh,
so excited.
if both our families go in together, we'll do this and do that. But the Most High didn't tell them to do it. He told us to do it.
Ooh,
And the time that we were
you got to
in,
pause on that. You got to repeat that one.
what?
The Most High didn't tell him to do it. He told us to do it.
Yeah, he told us to
That's a
do it.
whole
So
life lesson.
it's like just being obedient and listening to the Most High because we was in a tough situation then. Like we wanted to go move with somebody to figure out how to save money to move.
That wasn't then though. That was a little after.
No, it was
No,
because
because we were about
I
to
wasn't
leave.
even I wasn't even no, I was working. I was working a little bit. We were saving and stuff. Um,
So that was in the spring when the business exploded and we had to make the decision to still go. Because we had the decision, we were like, oh, this business just exploded. Should we just stay here and live in Grove City?
yeah.
And it was like, no, we got to stick with the plan, stick with your first thought, like we were just saying.
Yeah. I forgot what I was saying.
Because that was the time, that was during spring. I know what you're talking about, but that wasn't the same time frame. When we were talking with them, going to their house, doing fellowships and all that, that was when the business was exploding. And we were getting that money. It was like, okay, we're starting to see how it's going to happen. But it exploded so much that we got a little comfortable that we were like, oh, maybe let's just go to Grove City, Ohio. Let's just go in like a cute suburban neighborhood. Maybe we should just do that. And
No,
then
it
Most
was
High was
some
like,
stuff
no.
happening though, because it was like gunshot after gunshots.
Yeah.
We had to figure stuff out. But what just the story that we just told, it's like you really got to listen to what the Most High is telling you, and no matter what, He's going to protect you. No matter where you go, no matter where, He's going to be protecting you. No matter what you're going through at the time, He's going to get you through that. So the Most High is not going to give you something more than what you can handle. So you can handle anything that you're going through right now. So it's like it's a place of balance. You got to have a balance. The Most High is always going to be balanced, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever you're going through, it's a bigger outcome. But you just got to hold on and endure to the end. It's just practice. Endure to the end always. Always endure to the end. Um, yeah,
Yeah, because
I
as
don't.
long as you stay obedient, as long as you stay in the hedge of protection, but once you're out of the hedge of protection, this is why y'all should do this too. We were just doing this, praying over the hedges and praying for protection, praying against monitoring spirits, because the changes that we're gonna see in the world and that we're already seeing, you better know how to have spiritual warfare. You better know how to battle in the spirit, because there's gonna come a time where things like giants start coming back. There's going to come a time when robots walking down the street. There's going to come a time where you start seeing all these things that were written in the book of Enoch, that were written about in Matthew, where Yahusha says, as in the days of Noah, so shall it be, the coming of the Son of Man. And if you don't have that oil in your lamp, if you can't turn that lamp on and have some warfare and have some faith, then you're going to be taken down. And that's just reality. You got to be ready. That's why King David, to the Most High, he was so beloved by him, because at a moment's notice, he was ready to go to war for his people, and he was ready to keep the commands of the Most High regardless. It didn't matter what it looked like. He said it didn't matter if 10,000s and thousands of people were against him. He was going to stand in the day of the battle, even if he was alone, because he knew he wasn't alone, because he knew he was tapped into the heavenlies. He knew his army wasn't of this world. Although you have giants and all these things come in and myriads of armies of people that were accusing him doing all these things, even his own children at some point. He was like, in this I will be sure that I'm going to stand here and I'm going to stand on the Most High's word. When it wasn't the majority, it was just King David. And King David was the youngest in his family, the black sheep. But the Most High positioned him and raised him up to the top because that he's his beloved. So much so, we read about King David now.
Mm-hmm.
He said the Messiah will come through the loins of King David. But had he not been steadfast in his faith like that, had he not had a relationship like that, had he not been writing those prayer psalms, doing his warfare, without the book of Psalms is an entire book of spiritual warfare. Hi, baby G. What are you doing? The entire book of Psalms is a book of spiritual warfare.
No, G.
And so you can pull that book out at any time, especially in this world where things are changing this quick. If you have confusion, if you have whatever it is that you have, there's a prescription and a remedy for it in the book of Psalms. I was just in Psalms 140 through 142 today. You should check it out. Your whole life will be in that book. Because Yahusha said when he came to earth, behold, it's written of me in the scroll of the book. And he was actually quoting that from Psalms. So with these changes in the world, you gotta be in position. And it's not just about a physical position. Obviously, you have to be obedient in the physical, but then it's also about what is your spiritual position? What position are you in the spirit? If you could see in the spirit, if you could see everything around you, what position are you in? Are you on the right side of things? Are you able to fight spiritual warfare? Are you able to discern what's coming on the earth? You want ice cream? Yeah, we are good. Cream ice, okay. What do you think about that? The spiritual warfare with these world
We always
changes.
talk about it. Right. I don't know.
Yeah, go get a cookie.
That's what. Yeah.
You want me to go with you?
That's what it is.
I'm gonna go with him real quick.
I'll go with her. I don't, you know me.
Yeah, y'all. These look, y'all gotta get ready for the warfare. You gotta be ready to fast. You gotta be ready to pray. You gotta be ready to stand on your own. Because the Most High wants people that's gonna stand on their own and know His commands and know that He's right. Not that they're right, that He's right. Because when you know that He's right, then you're like, oh, I'm good. I can stand here on a hill all day. I can stand here on the rock all day. I can sit here and read Psalms all day and know what's going on. So the people that stand against you, just as King David had those myriads of armies, man, King David's whole life, y'all. If y'all ain't read Samuel and Kings, like part of Kings, and then the book of Psalms, to see King David's life, whew, he had so much warfare. He had so much warfare. That's why he was always writing the Psalms. He had so much warfare. So many things coming against him. Some things that he had to reap just because of sin. Some things just because of family. Some things just because of being the chosen. And so you got to be in tune with the Most High so that you can enter into this warfare time with these telecommunication interferences. You have all these things happening in the world. But America has dumbed us down spiritually to the point that we don't believe these things. People will watch Harry Potter. People will watch, in the 90s, they had shows like Charmed. People will watch all of these different, like, magic occult shows. And they're like, oh, it's not real, but we're going to do Halloween. Then we're going to do some other ritualistic holidays. Then we're going to do this. But none of it's real. We're just going to do it for fun. And so it dumbs our people down. Just people in general. It dumbs humans down. It dumbs all of humanity down so that people, when you encounter different warfare, you think the book of Psalms is just nothing. So now you just stay in maybe the book of John. So you think it's nothing. You just stay in Genesis. You don't even look where your warfare scriptures are. You don't look to see Ephesians 6 to have on the full armor. You don't even know what the full armor is. You like, do I really need armor, or really principalities and spiritual giants? Because the ancients, they knew all these things. This is why I love history. Like, if you look at ancient Egypt, if you read the book of Enoch, if you look back to all of these writings, you start to see a theme, especially if you take like world history classes. I took some of those in college. And you start to see, oh, you see some patterns, like all these nations and these territories believe that giants roam the earth. All these nations and territories knew certain people in ancient Egypt practiced certain magic. These things are real, very, very real. But you gotta be on the right side of it. You have to be on the right side of it. And let me tell you what the right side is. The right side is how the Most High Yah reviews and approves things. The right side of it is what his word says. So if the Most High says he suffers not which to live, that's it. If the Most High says there's a false prophet, don't listen to him, ignore him, get him out the camp, that's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, that's it. You just got to stay on, that's it. You got to stay on the word. Because that's where your life is. That's where your strength is. That's where your power is. No matter who it offends, who it hurts, quote unquote hurts, when it really doesn't hurt if people would repent and turn back to the Most High. Because right now we have all of our people in the West who are into this New Age movement and want to do this crystal and that ritual and this Reiki and that thing and this and that and this. Because there's no contentment. At some point, you got to be content with the Most High. At some point, Yahusha has to just be enough. It has to just be enough to worship at your feet every day and to thank him, because every day you wake up, you see the sun, you see the trees, you see the clouds, you see the stars at night, you see, for us, we see our children, we see each other, we see this beautiful country we're in, we see our health, we see food, we even have memory, we have all these things to be thankful for. But humanity and this consumerist mentality, specifically in the West, is like, no, you need more. You better go get some occult knowledge, right? Back to Genesis and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. You got to go get some extra knowledge, extra otherworldly knowledge, where they have these crazy ads. I know y'all seen those crazy ads pop up. All this secret geometry, all this crazy stuff that people get into. For what? Because there's no contentment. When the prophets of the Most High, the people who are elect and chosen of him, they don't need any divination. They don't need any rituals, because they know how to read Psalms and receive a vision from the Most High that same day or that same night. Because they can fast and the Most High will talk to them immediately. You don't need any ritual rocks. You don't need to go jump through this hoop, jump through that hoop. You don't need any of that, because the power of the Most High is the strongest power that will ever be in the universe, on the entire planet. You don't need any of that. You can tap in the spirit and see what's going on. You can tap in the spirit. You may not always understand what the Most High is saying. Give you a future prophecy and you're like, I don't understand what this is. But then when it comes to pass, you're going to understand it, and you're going to have more oil in your lamp for your warfare, so that when the path gets darker and when it gets a little more lonely, when it gets a little more cloudy, you got enough light in your lamp to take you through. But don't be like the 10 foolish virgins. 5 wise, 5 foolish. Don't be like the 5 foolish ones, that they wasted their oil where they could have tapped into the spirit. They could have tapped into the Most High, could have tapped into Yahusha and the priesthood under the order of Melchizedek, tapped into authority and real power, and been able to see and perceive the things that would come so that they would know how to move. But don't be like the ones that are just like, oh, I'm going to get the oil later. Then they came to the wise ones and they're like, well, give me some of your oil. And the wise ones are like, no, I got to get in. I still got to get there. It's still nighttime. I got to get there myself, so I don't have any oil. You have to choose this day who you'll serve. And you have to serve the Most High with all your might and all your soul and all your power, so that as these changes continue to happen in the world, as you're trying to make a move to Africa, or if you're going to Costa Rica, wherever you're going, as you're making these moves, you will walk in authority and power, and nothing will by any means hurt you. But if your hedge is open and your protections are open and you have these gates and these different doorways, you're going to find yourself in situations that are difficult to get out of. Now, it doesn't mean the Most High is not going to come and save you. I mean, it's up to him. He says, I'll bless who I bless and I'll curse who I curse. So it's up to him. But just do the due diligence. There's this verse, I believe it's in the book of Baruch, where it says, seek the Most High Yahuwah while he may be found. Call on him while he's near. Don't delay. Don't delay with the oil. Don't delay with the power, which is worth far more than gold and rubies. Don't delay when he's right here available. He's right here wanting to lead you and guide you, wanting to take you into the narrow path, wanting to take you into your destiny in Africa, wanting to take you into whatever he has for you, your own personal promised land. Yes, you're going to have to endure some things on the way. But guess what? He said, I will never leave or forsake you to the ends of the earth. What's wrong? Do you want to go eat some ice cream? But yeah, guys, y'all know once I get to talking about the word, I'll be talking all night, literally. Like I'll literally be talking all night. But that is it for this video. You want to say anything, babe? You want to end it? That is it for this video. Baby G, you want to say bye? You do? Okay. You're so nice. You want to go eat some ice cream now? Let's go get some ice cream. So, guys, shalom, shalom. That is it for this video. Keep your oil in your lamp. Be blessed. And if your plan is to come to Africa, set up a firm foundation with the word of the Most High in spirit and truth in everything you do so that your way will prosper. Be blessed on this narrow path and live your best life. Walk in abundance, walk in power, walk in authority. Shalom, shalom.